So today we are looking at the RefreshOS 2.0. The codename of the RefreshOS 2.0 is Boundless Beagle. So here is the boot menu. Let me quickly boot it in a live boot. So the booting process will take like a 2 or 3 minutes in my PC, and I'm also running it on the virtual machine, and my virtual machine specs are I have i5 1240p CPU and I'm using a 8 GB of RAM. And also the virtual machine will take like a 2 or 3 minutes, so I'm going to wait for a few seconds, and I'm going to start making all the changes and the features. I'm going to show all the features and all those things as soon as the desktop layout loads. So let's wait and see how much of time it takes. So here we have the desktop layout loaded. So it took just 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes. So I'm going to first open the system monitor and see how much of a resource it's consuming. So these are all the pre-installed applications you get from the RefreshOS 2.0, and the codename is Boundless Beagle. As you can see there, here is a bagel dog on the wallpaper, and here is the system monitor, and it's consuming 1.6 GB of RAM, and the CPU is almost under 20-25%. And the KDE frameworks version you get is a 5.103, Qt version 5.15.8, and the other information, which is a KDE Plasma version 5.27.5. so you don't get the latest KDE Plasma version. And here are all the applications which will run as soon as you boot the Linux distro. And the history, here is the history. Here is the process. I didn't even change the display settings, so I didn't want to touch anything other than the system monitor. So I'm going to give you the perfect hardware specs. So these are all the resources which consumes as soon as you boot the Linux distro. I'm going to keep the system monitor in the right side corner so you can see all the changes throughout the video. So let's first change the display settings and check other features also. My monitor is 1920 x 1080 with a 16:9 ratio. Let me keep it. And here also you should be seeing the about this system. So I'm going to make the system monitor smaller so we can do all those things. So here is the other information, and the KDE Plasma version is a 5.27.5, and the kernel you get is a 6.1.0. and the latest version of Linux kernel is available in the official website, and the version right now is 6.10, which is the latest version. Here is my hardware specs. So I'm going to close it, and I'm going to open the browser, and I'm going to show you the downloading process and all the features which is available in the RefreshOS. So I already made a lot of videos in the RefreshOS in my channel, so if you want to check it out, you can check it out. The application Brave has requested to open the wallet. I'm not going to open it. So we need to wait for like a few seconds to open the browser. So here we have the browser. So we get the Brave browser instead of Firefox web browser. Usually the Firefox web browser will be default browser for the almost every Linux distro, but you get the Brave browser, which is based on a Chromium 126.0. And you already know Chromium and Chrome based browsers will consume a lot of resources. In this case, it's consuming 2.2 GB of RAM and under 25% of CPU. So I have the latest hardware specs, and this is the result here. So it's consuming 2.2 GB, which is a pretty much lot. You can't consider this as a lightweight Linux distro. So most of our users will be having like a 2 GB of RAM to run most of the Linux distros, because Linux distro most of them have will be consuming a lot of less resources. So because the XFC desktop environment, LXQT and other desktop environment will consume a bit less, and the GNOME version and the KDE Plasma, you already know that will consume a bit of resources. So I'm going to show you the official website. Let me try to type in RefreshOS. So you just need to type in like a RefreshOS, and the first link will be the official website. So I'm using the Brave search engine. So we already have our videos available right in the website or in the search engine. So I'm going to open the official website by going to google.com. I don't want to use the Brave search. google.com. So I typed in something wrong here. Instead of C, I typed. So here will be the google.com. I'm going to open the Google. I'm using a VPN, so there is some random language. So let me paste it. RefreshOS. So I need to type in Linux. And let me scroll it down. So here is the website, which is refreshos.org. So here you should be seeing RefreshOS 2.0 Boundless Beagle. So I don't know when it was released because I didn't check the website to make a video. So I was busy in making other content because I'll be posting 2 videos daily. So I clearly forgot I need to search other Linux distro also. Today I didn't have any of the topics, so that's the reason I found it randomly. So here are some screenshots. Here are some of the information. For example, built on Debian 12 Linux. So the KDE Plasma, it says Debian 12, and other information is right here. You can just get the information. So there is nothing more here. We need to get all the information on our own by opening all the applications, seeing all the features, and you should be getting all the information. And the ISO file will take directly to the media file mirror, and here is the ISO file, which is around 2.7 GB. Let's try to show you the download. So download wherever you want. So that's it. The downloading process is that much pretty simple. So we got all the information. I already showed you how to download, and if you want the information, you can go to the official website and get all the information. And or else you can just read it from here if you want, like a complete office suite, take control of your PC, image editing, and nothing else other than this. So I'm going to close the browser, exit, and let me type in some commands to get some information here. So we should be having the console. So I don't know what's terminal here. Let's try the terminal. So we have the LX terminal. I'm going to open it. I'm going to put some commands to get some other distro information, for example, like a NeoFetch and all those things. So let's check the version. We get the 0.4.0. So there is a no close button. So let me type in NeoFetch. Hit enter. So it says command not found. Let me try the INXI. So here you can see. So I'm going to change the color so you can properly see first. So we need to find the palette, I guess. Colorize light. Let's click on OK. So I hope you are seeing everything here. So here is the CPU, kernel, storage. I think I forgot to say that I'm using a 60 GB for my virtual disk. And here is some of the information. Uptime is almost 9 minutes. And let me try to type in some other command, which is INXI -b. And here you say the host has a RefreshOS, kernel 6.1, and other information like a desktop environment, version. Here is the distro information. Here is my virtual machine. So you don't get all the information just by typing few commands. We need to type some other commands to get all the information. I'm going to show everything, so you don't need to worry about it. So here is the graphics information. Here is the network information. Here are the drives and other information. Let me try to type in like a INXI -F, hit enter. So here you should be getting some additional information after typing that commands, like a audio and a partition, sensor, and all those things. Just pause the video and read everything, because I don't want to make a video lengthy by reading everything. You can just pause the video, and you can also slow down the video to read everything. So let me type in INXI -G. So here are all the information. Let's try to type in cat :etc /issue. So here it says Debian new Linux 12. So let me type in the final command, which is inxi -sv8. So this command will completely grab all the distro information from all the Bluetooth vulnerabilities, repos, and all the important information. Let me show you all those things. So here is the complete system information. Here is the machine information, and we need to scroll it down for the memory. Here is the memory. Here is the CPU information. Let me scroll it down and get the vulnerabilities. So here are all the vulnerabilities, and here is the graphics, display, monitor, and all the information. When you scroll it down, you should be seeing the audio, the network, Bluetooth, RAID, drives, partition, swap, unmounted, USB. So you get all the information from this command. So here are like a repos, process, info, and all those things. So let me type in htop. So htop and neofetch is not pre-installed. In order to install, you can install it on your own. So let's go to the installer now. So it's going to take a few seconds and we should be seeing our installer. So on the desktop features, you get the date and time and the KDE Plasma. So you already know KDE Plasma desktop environment, you should be getting all those things, but it's the icons are changed and smoothness and the animation looks pretty much good. So on the look side, it's pretty much good. I don't have any issues, and also there is no like a RAM consumption, but the CPU isn't stable. As you can see, it's going up to 100% and it's going down, so it's unstable right now. And also you need to understand that I'm running it on the virtual machine, so maybe that should be a cause. And the password should be LIVE, I guess. I'm going to show all those things, so we need to find it on our own. I'm going to close the browser. So here are the updates. Here is the about. Here are the settings. If you want, you can change all the settings according to your wish. Here are the installed, and here is the home. So let me close the Discover and let's get to the installer. So you get the Calamarus installer in the RefreshOS 2.0. The version you get is a 3.2.61 for the RefreshOS. So I'm going to show you the basic installation process. I'm not going to go through all those things. I'm just going to say the basic settings and all those things. So if you're a new user or a new Linux comer, so you need to watch tutorials of installation before installing anything. So there are some videos in the YouTube. You need to watch like a short videos, like a 2 or 3 videos with 2-3 minutes videos, and it should be good. I have a tutorials, but my videos will be a bit lengthy, like a 20-25 minutes. So I don't want to recommend you, because I will be covering most of everything about that Linux distro and features and all the wallpapers, whatever the Linux distro provide, I'm going to show in that video. So there will be a lengthy video. And also I made like a 3000 videos. It's pretty much very hard to point out in which Linux distro I installed it on the hard disk or a virtual disk or a bare metal. So it's better to watch like a 2 or 3 videos, which will be short, and you shouldn't be getting bored by watching just the installation video. So that's the reason you need to watch like a videos of installation. So first choose your language. There will be a multiple language. There are a lot of languages available here. After choosing the language, click on next. You need to choose your location. You can choose the map or you can choose the drop down menu for the location. You don't need to provide the actual location, you can provide whatever you want. The system language will be set to American English, United States. If you want to keep United States, you can keep it, or else you can customize according to your wish. And the next one will be the numbers and date locales will be set to American English, United States. Again, same thing, if you want to customize, you can customize, or else you can just keep it like that. Click on next. Here you need to choose your keyboard. So it automatically chooses your keyboard, but for some case it's showing as a generic something like that, but my keyboard is a Dell. I'm going to keep it the Dell, and choosing the language with the English United States with the variant of a default. There are other variant in the keyboard, you can choose whatever you want. And also you can type here to test your keyboard. You can test your keyboard right here if you want. Click on next and you should be seeing the partition. Here you need to be careful and you need to understand how to install. That's the reason I said in the beginning you need to watch like a tutorials. So first you need to choose your installation drive or the installation destination. If you have the multiple hard drives or the multiple installation destination here, you need to choose that specific drive where you want to install. So you need to choose the options available here. So erase disk means it clearly says it's going to erase everything here, and whatever the available drive is here, and if there is a media files, operating system, whatever it is, it's going to erase everything within the specific drive. So here is the options, and the manual partitioning is like a, so this is a single boot option which will erase the current operating system and everything, and it's going to install the RefreshOS in the erase disk. And manual partitioning is like you need to create a partition before choosing the installation. After choosing your partition, the partition will be available here. Choose your partition and install those RefreshOS on that specific partition. And you should be seeing the dual boot options in the boot menu, like a dual operating system. One will be the current operating system and the other will be the RefreshOS. So you can encrypt your system by providing the password, which should be same in both the boxes. So here you need to see the bootloader location. So you need to watch tutorials for it. So the options will be master boot record of that specific drive, and the other will be system partitions, and third one will be do not install a bootloader. So if you're already a Linux user, you should be knowing all those things. So the current state will be like this, and after installation it will be like this. So after clicking on next, you should be having the user account creation here. So again, same thing in every operating system, so there is nothing complicated. And also in Linux distro, everything will be same because it has the KRunner installer. In some rare cases, there will be a bit change, like a desktop environment available if you choose the online installation. And if you choose the offline installation, every Linux distro which has KRunner installer will be same like this. So let's create the user account here. What is your name? Let me type in some random things. 9to5 Linux. So if everything is going good, you should be seeing a tick mark or a correct sign here beside the box. What name do you want to use to log in? You can't use the numericals first. Let me show you that. So when you use numericals first, it says with a pop-up, your username must start with a lowercase letter or an underscore. So I'm going to use the alphabets. Unboxing. So we have the tick sign here. So what is the name of this computer? I'm going to keep it like this. And next you need to choose a password to keep your account safe. I'm choosing the simple password for the sake of the video. Try to save your password in the note-taking app and you should be good. If you forget also, you need to be having a password. Always give the password a bit stronger so no one can guess. So here you should be having a login automatically without asking for the password option. If you want, check this, or else you can uncheck it. And use the same password for the administrator account. If you want to use the same password for this also, you can check this, or else you can uncheck it and you need to type in some other password. After clicking on next, you should be seeing a summary of whatever you choose in the previous installation will be right here. So if everything is good, you should be clicking on install. If anything is wrong, just click back and fix all those things. So when you click on install, it's going to take like a 20-25 minutes, depends on the PC, and also it depends on the ISO file. So if the ISO file is unstable, or the beta version, or the development version, or alpha version, sometimes in a rare cases the installation may fail and you should be seeing some screen will be frozen, and there will be some issues. You already know the beta version and the development version are unstable, so you should be facing some issues. So if it's a stable ISO file, you should be good with 99% of the cases. The installation will be going smoothly without any issue, and also it will be a bit quicker. So if you have like a low-end PC, it should be taking a plus more seconds, and if you have like a high-end PC, everything will be a bit lesser there. So the basic timing will be 20-25 minutes. So that's the installation time. So I'm going to close the installation because I don't want to install it, because I need to make another video. So let's check the pre-installed applications we get here. So these are all the pre-installed applications you get on the RefreshOS. So there are a bit of bloatware applications here, not major, but there are few applications like for example some GIMP and some other applications. So there is no not so much of bloatware applications you get in the RefreshOS. So those are all the applications which are for daily users, like content creation users. So you basically use the photo editing app, whoever you may be, like a students will be using the photo editor app like a game, and even sometimes the office users, sometimes the normal user will be using. So these are all the basic applications. I don't consider it as bloatware applications also. So here we have a store. If you want to install anything, you can just click on it and install. So if you want to install, you can go and check other here like internet, accessibility, applications, chat. So you should be seeing all the applications. Just click on install and you should be good. So you also get the store you can install, and also this is a KDE Plasma version, but the only downside is you don't get the latest KDE Plasma version. And also there is some issue with the latest KDE Plasma version with 6.1.3 in my PC, because the CPU will be consuming a lot of resources for some reason in the KDE Plasma 6.1.3. I don't know. I tried every type of Linux distro with a 6.1.3 version. I tried in the live boot, in the virtual machines, and also installed in the virtual disk, and also installed in the bare metal. I always had that issue, so it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use it or not. But the version we are using right now is here. And also the CPU is consuming a bit, not like a 6.1.3, but it's still a bit stable. And as you can see, it's consuming 2.7 GB of RAM. So let's check some of the desktop features, which is wallpapers. I'm not going to show the panels and all those things because it's a KDE Plasma. You already know a lot of years how to use the KDE Plasma, all those things. So you get a bunch of wallpapers here. So I'm not going to waste time by just showing some panel features and all those things because you already used KDE Plasma version. So that's the reason. So you get a bunch of wallpapers which are pretty much, most of them are just dogs, because the code name it says as Boundless Beagle. So for the dog lovers will be good wallpapers here, like 3 or 4 wallpapers from the. So the wallpaper looks like a Underdog, the movie. You already know the Underdog movie. So it kind of looks like that dog. So I'm going to choose this wallpaper and click on apply. So here is the folder view version, and here is our file manager. Let's check the version of the file manager. A problem has been detected with your thumbnail cache. Fixing it will require administrative privilege. You can fix, or you can click on dismiss. Let's check the version. So you get the Nemo file manager. The version you get is a 5.6.4. Let me close it. So what else we left here is I'm going to do a stress test. Let me open the applications. So viewers who doesn't know what is stress test in my channel is I'm going to open a bunch of applications which consumes a bit of resources to see whether this distro will handle day-to-day tasks. Because a normal user will be opening a browser, a photo editing app, or multimedia like this, like a 4-5 applications at once. So that's the reason to see how much of resources it takes when we open a bunch of applications. In this case, I will be opening whatever the applications available in that specific Linux distro. So that's the meaning of a stress test in my channel. So I'm going to open the basic applications here, which consumes a bit of resources. So this will give a bit of stress to the hardware, and also the we should be getting some like a not responding pop-ups or like errors sometimes. So we can decide whether to use those specific Linux distro or that specific version, or else we can go with the older versions, or we can wait for the other versions. So that's the main objective of this stress test. So I'm going to open a bunch of applications here. So let me open the LibreOffice also. So I'm going to open like 7-8 applications and we should be good. So what else we have here? So you don't get a bunch of applications here, so that's also a good thing. I think we are good. So these are all the a bit of resource consuming applications. Let's try to switch the applications. So as you can see, you don't see any lag or any crashes. Everything is opening instantly and we can switch the applications without any problem. And also you need to understand that I'm using a 8 GB of RAM for the virtual machine. And also the CPU is almost i5 1240p. My CPU is i5 1240p, so it should be handling almost everything without any issues. So it's almost consuming 3.6 GB of RAM just for some few applications. So these are not also the less resource consuming applications. The Brave will be consuming a lot of resources, GIMP will consume a bit, and also LibreOffice. So you need to understand this also. So I don't see any lag or any crashes or any issues. I can run all the applications and I can switch the applications. But if you have like a 2 GB of RAM, I don't know how it performs. You need to go to the website or you need to do your own job by searching like for the system requirements of the RefreshOS. So I think if you have like a 4 GB of RAM, in my point of view, if you have like a 4 GB of RAM and a CPU of like a 6th generation CPU of i3, should be running almost every Linux distros. So that's my point of view and that's my tip from me. So you should be running almost every Linux distro if you have like a 4 GB of RAM and maybe CPU of i3 with a 6th generation, 7th generation. So latest CPU should be 14th generation. So try to get that one if you have money. But if you have a low-end PC, you can do whatever you want. There are a lot of Linux distros available in the Linux market. You can go with the lightweight Linux distro. There is no need to exactly and you don't need to buy the latest specs. You can choose other Linux distro if you want, like a lightweight Linux distros. So it's clearly up to you to do whatever you want, because if you have a low-end PC already, you don't need to buy a new thing. But if you are trying to buy a new thing and if you want to try a lot of Linux distros, you can try it if you have a latest hardware specs. So that's my opinion. So let's check the version. So I already made a lot of lightweight Linux distros videos in my channel, or else you can search the internet and you should be good with lightweight Linux distros. There are good lightweight Linux distros. You can go with this type of Linux distros also. So there is no nothing here to go and download. So if you're a distro hopper, you can try this type of Linux distro. But if you're a normal user who want a stable Linux distro, you can try the other desktop environments and other Linux distros which has stable and which has LTS. You can go with those type of Linux distros. But this is a new Linux distro. If you want to try it, you can try it. It's clearly up to you. And also this is not the latest version. So I don't know when the ISO file was released. So I found it randomly, so I made a video. So I properly don't know anything about it. The ISO file should be released a few months ago. I don't know. So you need to always don't try to just watch someone's video and try to install anything on your PC, because it's clearly your opinion. You need to get all the information on your own because it's your PC. You need to be responsible. Don't just blindly watch someone's video and try to install any Linux distros, because we don't know what happens. This is a 2024. You already know things are going wrong always. So it's better option to try your own search and get all the information on your own. And always try it in the live boot or virtual machines, and if you are satisfied, then you go with the installation, or else you can switch to other Linux distros, because there are tons of Linux distros available and also other operating systems are also available. You can do whatever you want. So let's check the version and end the video. So here is the VLC media player version. So till now I didn't face any of the issues, so that's a good thing in this distro. So about GIMP, this one, the version is already shown. So image viewer, discover, here is the file manager which I already showed, the version, the browser version is also already showed. So here is the LibreOffice. Let's check the version, 7.4.7.2. So I think I covered almost everything, I guess. So there is nothing to show here, and also you have the KDE desktop environment, so there is nothing to show here. So at the end of the video, the RAM is almost 2.7 GB, and when you install it on the bare metal, the RAM will be a bit like a 300-400 MB less. So you don't see much of less RAM there. So when you install it on the bare metal, the RAM should be going like a 2.4 GB or 2.3 GB. That's the difference you see. You don't see a major difference like a 1 GB or 1.5 GB. You should be seeing just a 400-500 MB of RAM difference. So that will be a bit difference there. So other than that, there will be no changes when you install it on the bare metal or in the virtual machine. That's the only difference. So the virtual machines and all those things will be running on the RAM. So that's the reason the RAM will be a bit more there. So here is the history. Here are all the process at the end of the video. So it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use it or not. I said all my final thoughts already. There is no lag or no issues or any bugs opened or like a no responding signs, no pop-ups, all those things. Everything is working fine. So that's my thoughts on this Linux distros, and I'm going to show you the logout screen and I'm going to end the video. Let's open the logout. So I already made another video because I'll do videos daily without missing. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. And here is our logout screen and the desktop session. We have the VLAN and X11. You can choose whatever you want, and the password should be LIVE. Let me try the LIVE. Let's click on enter. Login failed, it says. Let's click on login now. So I don't know the password. LIVE should be the password. Let's try it. So it says login failed. I don't know the password. Let's try the password. And I don't think the password is password. Let's try the login. So it says again login failed. I don't know what's the password. Let's try the RefreshOS. Let's try it. And the RefreshOS isn't the password. So we need to find our password on the website itself. I don't know the password. If I find the password, I'm going to let you know in the description. So I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching. Peace out.